Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
And this is the Haute Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're starting the day with Karo-Lynn Reyes. I am truly woke up in bliss, floating and dancing today, and it's been just an amazing morning, you guys. But I have to say, sometimes the words seem to be speaking in light language sometimes. We're going to do the best we can do and just have an amazing day.
Let's
Uh,
do it.
I'm really
Yes.
excited to have this conversation. I heard a little bit about some of your multi-dimensional scans, and
Yes.
they are fascinating. And you are fascinating, and your work is absolutely incredible. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about her book, Encoded in Light, which is almost like a very large textbook in my world. I marked a few pages that I just thought it was just really juicy.
Let's dive right in. Two things. But why do you think that there's more now a push to this type of work in the mainstream? And before you answer that, I also want to just have the audience take us through a little bit about this accident that you had, that how you came into this world more awake, if you will, and what that really brought you to and how it brought to your work.
Yes.
But I thought there was no time in this multidimensional
Well,
field.
there is no time. That's why we just have to take it how it comes. And the thing is, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with my accident? Do you want to
I
start
think
with my...
that the audience is probably curious how you really are capable of doing these multidimensional scans and start there.
I was born like this. I never knew something different. The thing is that I have been born into a very hostile family situation, deeply hostile. And the only place where I was safe was back in the womb of my mother. So what did I do? I remember even, I can still see myself laying in this little crib. And then next to me was my father, and he was the hostile person, and that energy was so dark, and my mother was next to that, and the only thing I knew was I need to get back in that womb, and because there am I safe. And that is what I did, and I did that so often that she never could wake me up anymore for food or whatever, and because I just needed to be in her energy. But meanwhile, when I was there, I could sense her, I could feel everything about her. And so later on, and this is a nice story, when she was saying to my father, listen, I have a headache. And then I said, but you don't, because I don't feel it. And she was not really happy with those comments of me, of course. I really could step into her body and just
Oh, interesting.
feel everything what she was feeling. And I was just a very open child, very transparent, always telling my truth and hiding nothing. And then I just said, no, but you don't have a headache at all today.
She's, oh no.
Yeah,
Don't tell him
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
But you were just telling what you were experiencing and you didn't
I
know any
just was
different.
telling my truth like I always do. And
Eh.
so the thing is that what I do in those scans is that I scan the multidimensional field. So we are energy, right? We are just compressed energy into matter. And so our body is, to be honest, the last layer of the energy of our soul. And so what I do is that I just step into your field, and in fact, I transport your field to my field, and I feel everything in my body what you feel in yours.
Ooh.
Wow.
And that's why I don't want to know anything about you. I
Oh,
need to be completely blind. I don't want to have any medical history. I don't want to have anything what happened within your life. I don't want to know about your traumas. I don't want to know your name even. The only thing what is weirdly important is the gender, because the inside the prostate feels like a womb. That is really
Oh,
weird.
interesting.
And also what is also very important is that when I step into a body and I can feel hormones working, neurotransmitters working, I can feel your brain working, if neurons are communicating with each other or not, I can feel your depressions, I can feel your sadness, I can bound and bind that to trauma, I can find your trauma, I can find your soul, I can tell everything about your soul and about your multidimensional past and future and just everything, but also all pains you have, all organs I scan, how they work, how much they are, the genes, how they are snipped and they can't work like they need to work. And then when I am completely, for example, a person has a too fast thyroid or something, and you take medications for this. So, and then this field is restored. And then for me, it feels perfect. So that is the only thing what is a little bit that I sometimes need to ask, okay, are you taking medication for a thyroid? Because I hear that something should be wrong, but I don't sense it because it is taken care for with medications. And that is the only thing what sometimes happened. And then when I am done with the scan, so I scan you on energetical level, soul level, emotional, mental, and total physical level. And when I'm done with that, because I'm an epigenetic specialist for children, by the way, and for adults, and then I make a full protocol to restore your body and to recalibrate your DNA. And what I have been noticing in the 35 years that I do this work is that spirituality is nothing more than remembering who you are. Because as a soul, you are completely here. So there's nothing to find. There's nothing to develop. We are all the same spark of source, really. The only thing is that between our remembrance and awareness, there can be a complete body who is not able to translate you as a soul anymore. So, for example, if you have a lack in communication within your brain cells and your feelings are not connecting with your mental part, or you have lack of serotonin, or you have, I don't know, you are wired with ADHD, with lack of GABA, you have too much glutamate. So then you have a big problem because we are all envisioning our life because this is really not existing. When we get the energy of our environment and our brain need to translate that into a visual for us so that we can live in that visual, but our brain is not capable fully to do it, then the field where you are living in starts to be distorted. So what I really learned in my 35 years working with very high souls is that when you have this perfect, healthy body with everything aligned, you can start to translate and manifest your life hundreds times better. But also you can start to remember fully through the amnesia veils who you are.
Yeah.
And actually, that is my work. That is what I do in this life.
We often say the veils have lifted. Is
Yeah.
that one of the words that you use? Do you feel that you have more veils to go through? I feel like there's 101 questions I want to ask.
Yeah,
Is it okay if I just go?
you go.
Okay, great. So a lot of us, I want to get to scans. Is
Yeah.
that something we can do today? Real quick, babies, little short scans on for the audience or a group scan.
The thing is, of course, I can scan, but the
Mhm.
problem is that I'm connected now with so many energies. I need to be able to focus on one and then start to scan that person. But that is a little bit difficult because there are so many vibrations here. But let me see if there is a person who I can connect with deeply. So this girl, Lakita Pierce, she is in a sort of way accessible for me. So if she can put her feet on the floor so that I can connect with you, and maybe you can let me hear if you are doing this, or is she now scared and did she run away?
Write it in the chat.
So I don't know where she went now, but
What is her name
okay.
again?
Lakita, she was here down in the Lakita or something. But anyhow,
Here.
Okay, there
Okay,
she may
there
be.
she is.
Lucky Pierce. So can you? So she is a very high sensitive soul.
Okay.
So she is, to be honest, a soul whose origin is coming from the 9D. So that is a very high soul. But with her, she senses this, but she can't express it fully because she is blocked there. I see that there are problems with her inner children, so that she is not really connecting deeply enough who she is really deep inside. But there is also a serotonin problem, like I just was explaining, and that she sometimes has the feeling that her emotions are running too high, and that then at that same moment her mental capacity, so her realization, her reality, can't bring her to peace. For the rest, she has also a difficulty in carb digestion. So I feel that her upper stomach is often reacting on foods. So also her digestive system is lacking a DPP4 enzyme, and a DPP4 enzyme is an enzyme that takes the exorphins out of foods. So the most blocking thing for our serotonin and our brain communication and our endorphins, our happy hormones, are
Yeah.
exorphins in food. So the foods who are with soy, with spinach, with gluten, with milk, with all kinds of dairy, they are filled with exorphins. This is not a problem, but the only thing is that you need to have a DPP4 enzyme to be able to digest it. But when your microbiome wall is not really totally functioning again because you have too much gram-negative bacteria, there is a lack of that DPP4 enzyme, and then the exorphins start to block the endorphins in your brain.
Okay.
And the endorphins are not only our happy hormones, but they are also the ones who make our brains communicate with each other. So they are the synapses between our neurons. Not only the endorphins, also all the neurotransmitters are doing this. But the thing is that when she can feel then less herself, she can feel that sometimes she is on a real hype and then she's on a real low. But that is also because she has a gram-negative bacteria in her digestive system. So for the rest, she's a very sweet soul. She's so extremely sensitive. So I would actually really love to speak with her. And you don't have to.
Yeah,
I'm here.
It's
sometimes
okay.
oh, okay,
She
she's
can talk.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you are such an extreme high sweet soul, and you have a little bit of difficulties in really being that soul in this life so that you can express that exactly who you are. And the thing is that when you would stay away from all the exorphins in food, you will be able to very much more communicate in your brain with all your feelings and with your mental capacities in your brain. And then you can translate so much better everything what you feel. So what I also feel within you is that you have a blocked throat chakra. So these are two things. First of all, you have this incoming stream of wisdom because that is very natural for you, but then you need to be able to translate it into words. And that is still sometimes difficult for you to put the words on what you feel. But then there is also a trust issue that you can't trust people with your deepest feelings. And that's why you are blocked on your throat chakra too. Then I feel that your lungs are a little bit compressed. So when your lungs are compressed, you are not taking the field what you need to take into in your life. So not your place. Because when you are this high soul, you also have a mission. But your mission is still a little bit unclear, but I think that will come. And I can only advise you that you start to be your own truth frequency. So, because you know what your truth absolutely is, because you have this incoming knowledge somewhere inside of your heart and your soul, you also can feel that you are a special person and that your soul has a special mission. And I really would advise you to really start to follow that, and also take some probiotics for your intestinal wall. And I would take a complex for taking the gram-negative bacteria away, so the candida, what you have inside of that microbiome wall. And please then stay away from all the exorphins. And then what you really need to do is, before you go to sleep, is that you say to yourself, only source comes in, all distortions stay out. Because that clears your complete system. Everybody can do this, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that clears your complete system. Only source comes in. And then you can start to be this coherent person, because it's actually the state what we need to reach as souls. And when you are coherent, your energy is not bent by identity anymore. The thing is, what we all do, and what you also do a little bit too much still, Lakita, is that when you have pain, you start to own the pain. Instead of you saying, I am not that pain, because my soul is something really different. So we need to start to see the best what we can do. If I talk too much, please stop, make me talk. But this is
This
what
is
I am.
fascinating.
I'm sorry. So
Absolutely fascinating.
the thing is that when you are coherent, you are completely aware of everything, but you don't bend your identity to it. So the thing is, when you start to own something as something what you are, a victim or your past, or then you bend your coherence away into the fear system. And the fear system is our 3D system. So, and then we are just starting to connect too much with our 3D reality, and that is where manifestation stops, by the way. So only when you are complete coherent, you are a vertical line of source energy going through your body. You need to embody that, and then you can ground this in the crystalline grid.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
thing is, what I teach my persons is, when you really are having this high sensitive soul, and I see so many, Dana also is such a high
Yeah,
sensitive.
she's one of our
Yes, she is.
people.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable high. And
Yeah,
but the thing is
that's
that, Dana,
accurate.
and I'm sorry, I don't want to expose you seriously, but you are still
She's
also
probably
not,
okay.
yeah, you are also not completely grounded in your body. So the thing is, what I teach my persons is, we should not go up. We don't have to find anything anymore. Seriously, we don't have to meditate or to do whatever of courses or reading even my book. You don't have to. Seriously, because everything is inside of you. I did this book, I channeled it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
in fact, Dana, you can do it too. And Lakita, you can do it too. Because,
Technically, I think we all could do it
and,
if we have the
oh,
right. Yeah.
because
I don't
we
think
are
that we
exactly,
came in knowing that though.
Yes.
And I think
sorry,
that's where I don't think that we came in knowing that we can do that. And I think that's where people really are coming to learn stuff from people like you, or joining our show, because we
yeah,
want a little more, I don't know if it's permission, but information that helps us know that this is
Yes.
actually our science, right? It's actually how we were born into this world. But I think there's been so many, maybe if it's conspiracy against, and this is my theories, but against having people know that they have so much innate power. And now that there's more information, now that there's more people like you stepping forward and sharing a transmission, channeled books, back then there wasn't this safe space to have this
do it.
type of information be so
Yeah,
readily available.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
that's why I'm excited that Goop invited you. And you know what?
It really
We're
gives
like
like
Goop, we're
massive
better.
exposure. You know,
Massive exposure.
I-
I'm teasing, but the idea here is that it gives the people power back to themselves and allows them to fully start to understand the complexities of what and how simple as well as our innate being, our innate origin, how we came to be truly in this world. I think another thing too is
I wanted to kind of, if that's okay, there was a part in the book that I marked and I just wanted to be with it because I think that you said it, but I really want the audience to really get this. And I guess there's other questions that need to unfold by me asking it. But you say the DNA layer regulates emotional coherence and begins dissolving fear-based frequencies. You said that a little bit when you were doing the scan.
Yeah.
And then you go on to say the 6D to the 8D layers manage crystalline light communications between planetary and solar systems. She does mystic space weather news with all the solar flares. And then even goes on to say that the 9 to 12D layers form the structural blueprint of new planetary bodies. And I find that fascinating. Although when I read it, there is a part of me that feels like I know that too, but not in that defined, specific way. It's so juicy. Do you want to talk about how we, no matter who we are, what are some of the things that you found are everyone needs to do it to up level to be a more expanded, multi-dimensional being?
or just to identify that within themselves. I don't know that.
So the thing is, in our spiritual world, there are people who are telling us, okay, because of the solar flames, because of the Schumann resonance, we are prepared, our bodies will be prepared to really start connect with higher dimensions and higher. But to be honest, if that would be the simple truth, why are we also sick? We get sick because the Schumann resonance is creating so much fuss. Because our bodies are not able to match the frequency with that unbelievable high energy, what is coming to us.
Right.
So it is not that easy anymore. So the thing is, what I'm trying to tell to everybody, please, all of you, take care for your body first. If your cells, if your DNA is not carrying the same frequency as your soul is carrying, how can your soul ever match within your body? It's impossible. And even then to think, I told you, our body is our soul materialized.
Yes.
So if we are really creating this body with wrong foods, with industrial foods, with we are putting gasoline in diesel cars or vice versa. This is what we do, and we are so not aware of it. I saw last time I saw a sort of video or something that somewhere they created biological eco strawberries, but then fully from nothing, from a sort of colored pulp or something.
Yeah.
And I think, oh my Lord, but if we already are there, how can our DNA survive this? Because it can't. Then you just have to understand our DNA is listening to everything what we do. Everything what we put in our body, our DNA is listening to it. So the thing is that if we are bringing so many toxins, so many wrong foods, so many foods, what a high soul with a high sensitive body, because that is the thing. A high soul has a high sensitive body too. We just can't deal with all those toxins anymore. We are so deeply sensitive. We have this ruptured microbiomal wall because we are on antibiotics and we are on birth control pills. We are taking what is disrupturing our microbiomal wall. If we don't have this microbiomal wall, who can ever digest our foods? Nobody can at the end. And then we have this constant immunity, what needs to attack everything. Because, listen, we are all filled with
Oh,
low-grade inflammation, with
sure.
all kinds of autoimmune diseases. If we would be this high soul with this matching wonderful body, why are we so sick? So the
Yes.
thing is, we
But
need to take
I'm gonna see
first,
if she can skin you.
yeah,
we're also taking in all the other noise in the world that's disruptive as far as social media and the
of course,
news, and we're
of course,
just not
yeah,
being source in those moments.
all the belief systems.
Yes.
And every you have all those currents, admiration, hope, guilt, punishment. I need to be punished. I was so wrong. I need to judge people because, oh my God. So we
Mhm.
need to stop doing this, and we need to stop judging ourselves at first, because
Yes.
every stress we bring, every belief system, what is different, that when what we are as a soul is disrupting our DNA, we are creating so much cell stress into our cells that our genes start to express illness. It
Mhm.
starts to express trauma. It starts to express distortion. So the thing is that we need to really heal all of that before we can have
But
this remembrance of who we really are.
Sure.
And seriously, all of us, we are exactly from the same source. We are exact the same. So why can I do this and why can't you?
I always say, I always come back to this. It's
Yeah,
in the Bible, it says, rejoice, which means we've been in joy before,
yeah,
or we know joy in the
yeah,
remembrance of me. And it's not necessarily just the remembrance of Jesus or God, but it's also us as source. It's the remembrance of ourselves as source.
yeah.
And we came here to have these bodies for a very specific reason. Because if we weren't meant to have this expression of ourselves, then we wouldn't be born in a body. We wouldn't have these very,
No,
very dense or this experience, I feel like. And so us coming back into that coherence with not only our with source energy, but with our bodies too. I feel like that we're meant to really to structure with it. And I think a
exactly.
lot of times we start to leave our bodies. Maybe when you were talking about going outside of ourselves and we forget
Exactly.
to truly have the experience here. And what you're saying, I believe, is that it starts with that.
Bianca, you're completely right, because the thing is, our
I'm like,
body,
yay!
our body is the interface
Ah,
what creates the separation ID. And
Uh-huh.
because we are then separated from source, we can start to experience for source.
yes.
Because source only wants us to experience
Yeah.
life for its purpose to create its more experienced wisdom. Because if you only have wisdom and you don't experience it, then you have just a half wisdom.
Right.
So Source says, listen, I just want our souls, our sparks, start to experience. So, and then we
Mm.
got into this body, what created the idea of separation, but we are never separated from source. We still, in this earth, we still are absolutely a massive part of source. We are not
Yes.
separate. It is just an idea what was created to make our systems experience love and hate, all the opposites, because this is what we came to do. Why so many high souls of us? Because let's think about this, right? Because Earth is the only plane where you lose complete
Yes.
remembrance.
Yes, I was gonna say, and the reason why we have the amnesia. Because if we already
And
had the
why?
wisdom, we wouldn't truly have the experience. If we didn't have
Exactly.
the amnesia, we would have the wisdom, right? We would have, and so then you wouldn't need the experience because it would already be downloaded or whatnot, or it'd already be with us. But to
Exactly.
truly experience it, we came with the amnesia and the free will.
Yeah, by the way, you can never override free will. So
Right.
this is something what in my practice is like a holy grail. You never override a free will of a person. Never, because that is the most ultimate power of source. It's free will. So the thing is, what I am trying to say is that there is an unbelievable plus point that us very high souls are coming here, often loading up unbelievable difficult lives, because we need to experience a lot of difficulties and a lot of problems, a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, because we need to teach people how to deal with it later. But why do we do it? Why? Why on earth are high souls like us are coming to this plane, who is the most difficult, without any remembrance, without so much things what is going on with us? And I will tell you, because when you are able to find your light and love and remembrance through so much trauma and veils and amnesia again, you are the master of emotions. And that is the goal, what we all want to reach as a soul. And when we are master of emotions, we are completely coherent. And then at that point, we can decide to dissolve back into source, even permanently. So that is the moment that we can decide, listen, we have done enough now. We experienced enough. We found ourselves, our love, our source spark back through all those difficulties, through all those pains. So that is why you, as a soul, really need never to bind yourself to trauma. You always have to see this. I came here to experience. I need to have a very difficult life, because if I am not living through the pain, how can I help people to do the same who are stuck in the 3D into that trauma base, pain and fear and everything what is there? So we are here with a lot of wonderful souls, and we have this spark inside of us. We want to help. Everybody wants to help people. But then you go through hell back and forth. And the only thing how you can get through this completely undamaged is not to be that victim of that pain, that you were choosing this in your contract to go through so that you can teach others. And that is the most profound, what I can tell everybody, because when you start to bind into your pain, you lose your coherence completely. And when you lose your coherence, you lose the connection with your soul
Wow.
completely. And when you lose,
Oftentimes, when people start getting sick and maybe they could have healed, but they're already starting to disconnect with their soul if they've been diagnosed with cancer or ALS or one of those seeming to be terminal diseases, you could see how a soul would then be like, we let this body die so that we can recommune in the land of oneness over the Rainbow Bridge. Is that how you're seeing this? When we have pain and we maybe even have a diagnosis on top of the pain, which would create even more emotional pain, you could see how maybe that would become the end of a human body.
yes, so the thing is that source can call us back, right? If we are making from our higher soul, we have this high developed soul, we all have, and we are making this a very 3D, fear-based, deeply conditioned and adapted person out of it.
Yes.
Sometimes it can damage the spark of your own source so much
Wow.
that source says, listen, come home. The problem is that when you are not healing yourself within, you start to resonate with fields who has the same resonation. I am believing that I'm guilty, and I am believing
Hmm.
that I need to be punished because I was not good enough for Source, so I did not bring all the experience, and so I need to overdo this life again and again.
Wow.
So the
Because
thing
you're
is
making
that
yourself wrong is another
exactly,
component. And you're also making yourself wrong based on another energy that doesn't even belong to you. It's some part
exactly,
of the collective. Okay, got it. Wow.
exactly. The thing is
Okay.
that we reincarnate through false overlays.
Yes.
And that reincarnation can be in a week, in a month, in even a day, that you suddenly are reincarnating into yourself again, but then just in a new jacket. When
Wow.
we are going back to source, when we are going back to our oversoul, we are completely absorbed as this trail of life. We are absorbed into this complete field. When we are bind with our ego too much, when we are bound with old traumas too much, when we start to feel us as very important, our I is so important, we don't want to leave that I anymore. So, and then we start to resonate with fields who also has a very big identity. And so I work with people who have this superiority complex. And why do they work with me? Because they know that they already are looping for lives and lives and
Oh,
lives
wow.
back into their own system, and they really want to get rid of it. So,
Interesting.
and that is what I teach the persons. And how do I teach this? Is that they need to find their own truth frequency again. They need to start to
Hmm.
live transparent again. They need to start to go to the pain and start to recognition and acknowledge the pain, not
Hmm.
own it, but I have
Yes.
this, so how do I transform it? Not hide from it, not put it in a closet, not taking it away, no, just go to it, start working with it, because if you don't do it, nobody does. And you
Hmm.
have to heal yourself. It is your responsibility. So you can't let anybody else do your healing. Also with love, I know so many people who have those voids in their heart, and they are just putting love there from others and do everything to get some love or some admiration or some guidance or whatever. No, nobody knows you the best. What kind of love you need. You only know how
Hmm.
exact you need to be loved. So you start doing this by yourself, by just acknowledge, by seeing what you need, then acknowledge it, and then start to give it and then transform. And when you
Hmm.
clear your field out of being your true truth frequency, you stop looping. Then you can be your coherent self. And then you can, at the end, just go back to source when you are actually not dying, but you are starting your new version of yourself. Because
Yeah, born again.
we
That's
are,
a reason there's a born again Christian.
Oh, interesting.
What
I
a
want to give the audience a little bit, try to give
question. So many questions.
a little bit more example of your work. Would you be able to connect with maybe Jennifer I?
sorry, what do I need to do? Janet, her eye?
Yeah.
Oh, I said, would you be able to connect with Janet or me?
Or you? Yeah, of course. So then I need both of your feet on the floor.
Okay.
Janet, I start with you, right? So let me focus a little second. So, first of all, Janet, you are a 7AD soul. So, by the way, both of you are planetary architects. Both of you.
Architects. That's
Yeah.
funny. When I read your book, I felt really drawn to that.
Yeah, you are both planetary architects, and you found your mission already. You want to spread that, yeah, that healing, that word, that knowledge, that so that is what you are really doing. What is really cool to sense within both of you is that both of your throat chakras are open, but then not really open to I sense and I communicate, but you are speaking your truth out. So you both went through situations that in the beginning it was a little bit scary to do all of this and to be on camera and tell people what to do. And oh my, who am I and why would I be able to do it? So this low self-esteem, what you both had, that is what is naturally giving us to as a female, right? And because we are so often as a female adapting to lower fields than what we are. And that is
Interesting.
what we really need to stop doing it because we are equal as souls with everybody.
Yeah.
And then when I sense you, Janet, your brain cells are overactive very much. So I sense this constant energy in your brains. There is almost non-stop going on whatever here. And you should really start to take some GABA because your glutamate level is way too high. So then what can happen if you are not dealing with this, you can be overwhelmed suddenly. And then your filter in your frontal lobe is not really working on that moment. It's not permanently not working, but you can feel that the glutamate is lowering that field inside of you. So GABA is leveling this back up. But also your third eye is wanting to be very active. But I can see in your aura that it is pulsing all the time. It wants to come out, but why can't it yet? Because you also have in your digestive system some problems. So the thing is that your plexus solaris, that is the one who manifests you. And that does it, but not completely, because you both have an unbelievable future ahead of you
Yeah.
in
Take that.
bringing the frequency to people.
Yeah.
So you should. I know that you're really doing a good job because I was following this a bit on social media seriously.
How are you gonna make me cry? Thank you.
While you're doing this so well, but I can tell you that if you would start to really be who you are,
Yeah.
you can be so much better than anyone because
Okay. Okay.
because you are living it. You are you
I
are
just yesterday.
Yeah, we
yeah,
are.
you are what you want to bring to people.
Yeah.
Then also with you, Janet, your hormones are a little bit
Yes.
like
Yeah.
unbalanced. So
Yeah.
there needs to be some work too. The thing is that what I would advise you, and by the way, all of you, is that you take an IgG food intolerance test.
Okay.
When you take a food intolerance test, you will start to see on what foods your immunity is reacting because you also have a too high immune reaction in your
Mhm.
body. So you have, yeah, what I also can feel is that is also why your brain is so
You just said
haywired.
that.
I
She
I
just said
I
that to me that she thought that was what's
I have
going
a
on.
gluten. I feel like I've got a gluten
Yes,
allergy,
you have
quite severe.
exorphins. All the exorphins are doing this too with you. So gluten and milk, definitely. But I experience people who are coming with a test with me who are reacting on linseeds with 99 points. Then you think I'm
Mhm.
doing really healthy stuff. Or
Yeah.
eggs. I hardly see people who can digest eggs.
Yes.
And we all eat them every day. So
I don't anymore.
yeah, we really need to know what we are reacting on, and then
Mhm.
your system will start to calm down because sometimes your adrenaline is way too high. So, and then you keep on thinking, you keep on
Yeah.
doing what you're doing,
Do.
but you believe that this is your your thing. And yeah, of course, I
I
mean,
actually call it that.
She does call it
My
that's my
ambition, my
thing.
motivation, that's my thing.
yeah, but
You have it innately.
your thing, your body needs to be super healthy
Yeah.
and really start to level up this work so that you
She
can,
just said that.
yeah, and then your soul can enter.
Yeah.
You can start to speak yourself these big truths out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lianka, you are such a beautiful soul. You, by the way, too, Janet.
Thank you.
I see this in both of you. But I thought
But
about
you're especially beautiful. Sorry,
no,
sometimes
it
the
is no,
comedic
it,
changes
no,
comes
no, no, it's not because remember we are all the same, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. But the thing is that you are a little bit closer to remembrance because your body has less difficulties. So what you have is an MTHFR gene SNP on your liver. So
Okay.
that means that your methylation is not in order. So I feel your liver really struggling.
Wow.
So the thing is that when your methylation is not in order, whatever you put inside of your body, as vitamins, as minerals, as whatever, peptides, whatever I would subscribe to you, your body can't methylate it.
Okay.
So your DNA is completely depending on methylation. So the methylation makes the building blocks together and all the histones to create healthy expression of the methylation. And that methylation on your MTHFR gene is snipped. So
Okay.
you need to work on that. And when you do that, you will feel so much better completely.
Okay.
And then you will start to notice, okay, but I really don't feel this unhealthy. But then when you do this, then suddenly you are stepping into a newer version of yourself where you can methylate, where you can give your body everything what you need. And then suddenly you start to feel, oh my goodness, but then I was this and that. And no,
Yeah.
I see so many people who are coming to me and saying to me, okay, a headache is to have a headache is normal. No, it's not normal. When you are healthy, you don't have headaches. Seriously, you don't.
Yeah.
So when I had this accident and I lost completely my body, like in everything, I had a loop of 15 seconds, nothing more. I needed to think every morning around a half an hour to an hour, sometimes 1.5 hours. What is my name? What on earth
Oh,
is my
wow.
name?
Right.
I had a complete empty brain, seriously empty. When I wanted to tell my doctor something, I always had a guide with me because I could speak 1.5 sentences and then I got completely red and I completely stuck and I couldn't say anything anymore.
Wow.
So I was ending up in a wheelchair for years. I was ending up bedbounded for years. I had until now 41 surgeries.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
and my true diagnosis came after 6 years. And that is when I was able to. It's really weird because my family was saying to me, Karo-Lynn, but you used to get all the information about everybody, and I really couldn't help myself. I didn't get any information anymore because what I was telling, my brain was too damaged, was too sick, was too, I have on 3 parts brain damage, and my pituitary gland is not working anymore. How could I ever translate something? And I couldn't. My body was deeply compromised. And because this pituitary gland was not functioning, I didn't get any hormones, like zero, for 6 years. So at the end, the human growth hormone is resetting and healing your cells during the night. That didn't happen for 6 years. So that is how I ended up bedbounded and in a wheelchair.
Yes, I gotcha.
So people said to me, why don't you? And then I thought, okay, I will give source 3 things because I thought because everything on my body got pale. My hair fell out. My nipples were, sorry for the details, were
It's all
completely
good.
We're
pale.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I thought it must be hormones. So I said hormones, accident, brain damage. And then after 6 years, they said, Google pituitary gland. And
Wow.
after it took 6 years to be able to download it. Pituitary gland accident. And then my caretakers, because I was full on care 24 hours, they were Googling it and they will comment, oh my God, Karo-Lynn, this is you. This is completely you. I gained 50, how do they say this in your terms, 110 pounds in 3 months after the accident. I was
Wow.
really, and so I was so not myself anymore. And when I knew that, then I got this diagnosis with pituitary gland, and then I got the diagnosis of complete brain damage and whatever. And then I got all the hormones and I got the human growth hormone. And then my remembrance came a little bit online about my epigenetic field, my epigenetic knowledge. And then I started to work on myself again with peptides, with supplements, with diets. And then let me see, it took me 5 years to come back as this.
Seeing you today, it's hard to even imagine that you were bedridden or in a wheelchair for that long.
And I'm 63.
You look
fascinating.
great.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that is the thing.
Inspiring.
If you are really your true frequency,
yes.
If you are really you, your cells are creating youth. They don't create trauma. They create youth. Your DNA starts to recalibrate this way because this body had 42 surgeries, 42 narcoses, 40 whatever. I had 4 sepsises. I have had 20, 30 Edison crises. These things are heavenly burdening on your body. So how can I be this vibrant? How can I be this healthy? Because I never have been binding myself to any of this. Nothing.
What you talked about at the beginning of the show.
Exactly. It was my experience. I needed to go. I never felt a pity, one piece of pittiness for myself or sadness for myself. I just knew I chose this. So I have to live through it. And also with my horrible childhood, I said always to everybody, I needed to just understand. I needed to understand that my father lost his soul and that he saw that I was connected with it. And he said, I need to kill the light in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is what he said to me always. And I just knew, listen, if you can kill the light in my eyes, I'm losing myself and everything what I am and have. And I refuse. So when he was beating me unconscious, what he did a lot, I never cried. I refused. I just looked up into his eyes. I understood why he did it. And then I thought, just beat me up. Come, I can handle it. And I never victimized myself. So I never adapted myself to the 3D reality. I never did. So if I can give a last advice to everybody, be your true frequency. Start to speak out who you really are. Stop adapting and stop lowering your fields as a female, because we are absolutely equal to all of it. We are all the same spark of force, all of us. So, and then we are just this wonderful energy who wants to be coherent and who wants to bring that mission to our world. And that is who we are. We are the most helpful people, souls, planetary architects even, who come to this world to recode the 3D reality into the 5D. And that is our mission. So but then we need to have this truth and transparency back.
Yes.
Not the bending to the identity, and then we get coherent, and then we are connecting to source, and then we stop looping into false incarnations. And
fascinating.
And that's
and some people have asked on the chat about the multidimensional scan. Where can they get it? And is there an offer? And you did give us a generous offer.
There is an offer normally, because a multidimensional scan is not only the hour that I'm sitting with you guys, right? Because everybody gets a personalized, scientifically, completely search-based protocol where you can really find your complete health back. So, and that took me 4 to 7 hours to make it. So for a whole package, normally I'm asking 555 euros. Now I am giving this as a Haute hustle with, how do you say, caps?
All caps. I put it in the chat, you guys.
Yeah.
And then it will cost, with full protocol, 350.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
amazing.
if you just mail us or just book it on our website.com, and then I'm here and I make this protocol for you, and then I will read your whole system because I just did it partially here. because I'm very much trained not to see and not to know anything about a person. So when I don't see a person, I can go real deep, so much deeper than I could do it with you guys today. And
Wow,
especially
wow.
that I don't want to have any knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you get your complete protocol to find your absolute health back, and that we can start to recalibrate your DNA through this protocol. But I also need to do it energetically. There are some sessions where I create coherence and where I create in one session the DNA recalibration energetic.
Wow.
But that is when your body starts to have this protocol, and then I just do it.
Yeah.
And we also work with the inner children and all traumas and soul traumas, and
Yeah, I love
I
it,
do the
love it.
whole
So it's
package,
like, yeah,
multi-dimensional.
yeah,
Yeah.
Of course.
yeah, go
So
through
I
it.
think I'm taking the time from others,
Not
guys.
yet, not yet, you're not.
No, we're
But
not
No.
yet. Yeah.
but I
Oh,
wanted to remind you guys that we also have the book on the site, and you can find all of this at houtehustle.com/live. Her package is in the chat here on Zoom if you want to go over and check it out and grab it now.
And for
I'm
those listening
probably
on
gonna do
audio,
it.
you can get the
Yeah,
coupon code. It's Haute Hustle, just all in caps.
caps.
And
yeah.
we'll link it to anywhere that has words, but you can also find it on the dashboard at houtehustle.com/live. Any parting words for us today? Thank you for your time.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
Amazing.
it's amazing.
Amazing,
Wow.
amazing. I can't wait
Well,
to talk to you again if you'll have us again.
oh,
But
of course,
Yeah.
because listen, I really got you girls.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
You,
you.
no, seriously, you should go up and up, really.
Wow.
And
Thank you.
We
That's
plan to. It's a
yeah,
part of what our higher
prepare,
self has
prepare
told
that
us as
vessel
vision.
for complete embodiment,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
you will start to remember so, so much more of your extreme talents, and keep
Thank
that
you.
truth frequency out, because that is amazing what you do.
Oh, wow.
And every little piece of maybe doubt, if you are deserving to do this, you are deserving to do
Thank
this.
you.
So
Thank you.
put it aside and be yourself. Step into your power, all of you, please, and just be who you really are.
Yeah.
And remember, that is it.
Wow. What an honor and joy to have you, Karo-Lynn. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you for having me. Seriously. Thank you all for listening to me. And I really hope that this was something what you really needed.
Yes.
And so, thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Thank you. Bye bye,
Thank you.
everybody. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Bye.
She's so awesome.